As we're coming up to Easter Sunday, it would be fair to say that there are some early signs that social distancing and hand washing, which has been followed across our communities, that's making a difference to the spread of COVID-19. Whilst we're extremely busy across all of our services and looking after people who have the infection, nonetheless, we're not overwhelmed and we do feel able to cope at this point. So the most important thing that I want to say to you today is to continue to apply social distancing, to continue to wash your hands and to continue to stay apart, sticking with your household group rather than, as the temptation will be over Easter, mixing with others and making connections with other family members. Best advice I can give is to stay in touch, but to stay physically apart. So this week we have had two big areas of focus. One is PPE and making sure that we provide the right kind of PPE in time for our staff and for people working in the independent sector, and also developing our ability to do staff testing. And in both respects we're making progress. We've continued to push supplies of PPE across our organisation and into our nursing homes and to our domiciliary care providers. It's a big ask because there are large quantities of personal protective equipment required, but we're working really hard to make sure that we get supplies to people to the right place at the right time, and we will continue to do that. We've now got staff testing available at Kilgallen and at Kilgallen in Enniskillen. This is working really well for our staff. Yesterday we tested more than 70 people, and as you know, that enables us to get staff back to work where that's appropriate. So our staff are generally very reassured to have access to that service. This week we made the difficult decision to change our paediatric services. So we've moved to one inpatient site at Kilgallen with an enhanced ambulatory service at South West Acute. And although it's only just introduced, it's working well to date. We've also been working to increase our capacity to provide mechanical ventilation to patients and increasing our beds for respiratory support for people who are admitted with COVID-19 infection. Behind all of this lies a whole range of staff who are working really hard for you. So we've had staff attending training, we've had staff who've changed the way they work, we've had staff who've changed the hours of work, and all of this is done with the single purpose of providing a really safe, effective and accessible service for people who become infected and develop COVID-19. I want to assure you of the commitment of our staff. I want to ask you for your commitment to the interventions that we know stop the spread of infection. So I want to stress to you that you should abide by the rules around social distancing and continue to wash your hands. All of these measures are making a huge difference to the infection, making a real difference to our staff here in the Western Trust and protecting you and your loved ones from the risk of infection. I hope you have a happy Easter. I hope you stay safe. I hope you stay apart. And I ask you to continue to observe social distancing and hand washing for all our sakes.